Next part is 4.6, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Y'all know what corresponding parts are, okay? If two triangles are congruent, let's say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. ABC to XYZ. What does A correspond to? X, because I said A first and I said X first. What's B corresponding to? Y, and what's C corresponding to? Right. What's AB corresponding to? Are you okay? You need to go out and take a breather. Okay, then stop cussing and talking to yourself right there. If you're going to answer the questions, fine. If not, don't talk about anything else. Okay, so this is focus on corresponding parts, and today we're going to do proofs. Okay, so let's just write that down again. The definition of congruent triangle states that if two triangles are congruent, then the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay? So if the two triangles are congruent, then the corresponding parts of the congruent triangles are also congruent. How many parts are there again? More than three. Three angles and three sides. So there's 6 parts total. So all 6 parts have to be congruent to each other. Okay? So the corresponding thing is like this. You can use these letters. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. CPCTC. Okay? Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So we're going to use this definition right here, or this acronym, in a proof. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to just go straight to examples and show you how to use that. Okay? When we prove something is congruent. So the first original statement right here says, is AD congruent to BC? So what I would suggest you do is go through and put a little question mark. Here's AD and here's BC. Okay? So we're going to go figure out if those two are congruent. So put little question marks on this. So it says use a deductive argument to explain. Okay? This is like a proof that we're going to do. So draw yourself like a little T chart, sort of. And then we're going to put our statements over here. And our reasons over here. Remember that algebra problem that we did? And we did every little step of the way we gave a reason? That's what this is right here. Okay, so if I can prove these two triangles congruent, that one congruent to that one, then wouldn't those two be congruent? Because remember, every part is congruent, every corresponding part is congruent in congruent triangles. So let's try to prove these two triangles congruent. Anybody see if those two are congruent? You say yes, by what reason? Which one? Olivia? Angle, side, angle? That looks like it would work, okay? Angle, side, why is one congruent to two? Because of vertical angles. That you learned a long time ago. So let's put 2 tick marks there, so automatically go mark those. Okay, so those two are congruent. Now here's how you write it out like a proof, okay? It's a little long, okay? You can make the proofs in college more challenging, so that it's a little time consuming. So the first thing you want to do is start off with they gave us. I'm going to say angle A is congruent to angle B. Okay, how do we know those two are congruent? Because it says they are. So the way you write that down, you just click given. Okay, it's already marked for us. So you write given. What else was given to us? The side, right? So let's put that AM is congruent to EM or MB. It doesn't matter which, you can flip those, right? Okay, and then that one is also given because it was marked for us. So you just write given for that one, given for that one. And then what's the one that you said was congruent? 1 and 2. So put angle then once you state those three parts, now you can say that what? The triangles are congruent. So we got to write them in order. That's why we had all that practice on the sheet before or the homework before. So how do you want to name the first triangle what? A and B. I heard that one first. Triangle A and B is congruent to, make sure you say the other one correctly, B and C. Alright, so triangle A and B is congruent to triangle B and C. And then what do you think our reason is? You said it earlier. A and C. Good. Okay, now that we have all of the proof evidence, in the last thing, what was the main question? Right. Well, if these two are congruent, well, then we can say that AD is congruent to BC because, what do you think the reason is? That's right. Because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are always congruent. And so the little short abbreviation for that is CPCTC. Okay? So usually you have about a 5-step proof, okay? Unless it's a pretty challenging picture where they don't give you like 2 given, you have to go kind of search for that, okay? But for the most part, it's like about a 5-step proof, okay? So it's what you're gonna have on your assignment. Okay, let's try another one. Everybody got that one down? Okay. The second one. Again, highlight or go through and mark what they want you to find. Is AE congruent to BD? Okay, so I'm going to use a highlighter because these are always confusing and students usually get these wrong, okay, at least in the passages because it's like a triangle on top of another one and it's kind of hard to see. So let me get the highlighter. So I'm going to highlight AE. Here's AE. Okay, so is that side, that segment congruent to BD? Right there. So I highlighted that one in pink. Okay, so is the pink side congruent to the yellow side? Really? Okay, so what I would do if I were you, whenever you see a triangle drawn on top of another triangle, redraw them. Okay? So I'm going to draw since the pink one is right here, I'm going to draw that one in red. Like that. So we have that pink one there, so that means this is A, this is B, and this is B. And then the yellow one I will draw in green. Okay, that one is E, A, and B. Okay, so again, you don't have to redraw them, but your chances, remember I talked about basketball season, in season, high percentage shots. If you take these little extra steps, that's a higher percent of you getting it right. Okay, now let's go mark these triangles up of what they gave us. Here's the 2 tick mark angle. That one is congruent to that one. And then the A, 1 tick mark there. So this B. And then there's something else that's congruent that they didn't mark for us, so we have to go mark it ourselves. Which one? The bottom side, right? Isn't AB congruent to itself? Right? Because that's the same side for both of them. Okay, so just by looking at what we marked and the shape triangle that we drew separately, would you say they're congruent? By what reason? Angle side, angle side, and they're in that correct order. Okay, good. So now let's just write off the proof. Okay, so let's draw a little right here. Segments and reasons. Okay, what do you want to mark first? Angle A is congruent to angle what? B. Is there more than one angle A? There is, right? Okay, so we can't do it that way. Now to use, how many letters, guys? 3 letters. Alright, so we'll say angle AEB triangle DBA. Okay, so we gotta use 3 letters. What's that reason? Given. What? There's 2 ways? Yeah, that's why we have to use 3 letters. Okay, so what's the other letter that is congruent? D and E, right? Angle D is congruent to angle E. Right, that one's given also. And then what side gives me more? AB. AB is congruent to BA. And that one, what would be a reason that we would forget? Same segment, right? Shared side, I guess. I'm gonna just put same segment. Okay? Alright, so we got our 3 parts down. Now let's write it in the triangle. Triangle like that. EAB is congruent to triangle. So we heard it. EBA. Okay, so if you get that wrong, it's going to be 1 point. Alright, so what was the reason again? Angle side. Alright, so then is AE congruent to BD? Yes, it is. By what reason? Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are different. Alright, last one. Oh, yeah. Alright, so let's mark on the picture what they gave us. A is congruent to C. Tick mark, tick mark. Angle ABD, tick mark, and CBD. And it's AB congruent to CD. What else is congruent here? That middle one, right? Alright, so would you say these 2 triangles are congruent? Yeah. Okay. And then what are they asking us on what's congruent? Right, so if you go for the question marks, AB, CD. So that looks weird. So we say AB congruent to CD just by looks. You know, so we need to make sure that they don't correspond. They pretty. This side over here is between the 1 and the 2. So this one corresponds to that one, not that one, right? So we already know the answer to this. What is it? No. And then you would explain it by saying what's the same. We're not corresponding. So just because the triangles are congruent, they might try and trick you like that and say, you might go through the whole proof and go through all of the steps and say, yeah, AB is congruent to CE because CPCTC, but then they're not corresponding parts, right? So just put not corresponding parts. Right. Now, if the question was, is AB congruent to CD? What would it say? Yes, and then you have to do the 5 steps. Okay? But they didn't. They